All right, we are back once again. Sorry about the first interruptions. I welcome you all. Nsanyuse nnyo okubalaba mwenna. Sharinga omulala agambe munne ayanguwe twogere ku nsonga z'eggwanga lyaffe n'ebyenjigiriza. Welcoming everyone on board. I'm waiting for you guys so we can start. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever your time zone is. I'm just glad to have you on the broadcast. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. And today we are going to look into the bleak future of Uganda's education system. First and foremost, before I go on, I would like to congratulate the candidates who sat for the examination, the UPE, but most importantly, the parents who sacrificed the little they had so that their children can go to school. Thank you so much, guys. Abazadde mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. Abataddemu kyonna kye muyina ne mwerekereza abaana basobole okutuula ekyomusanvu mu bugubi, mu muggalo, mu kwerumya ne mu kwerekereza. Bannange tubeebaza nnyo, temujjanga okwo. Nammwe abaana abatudde ebibuuzo ne musoma ne musanyusa bazadde bammwe ne mutabaswaza kubanga akasente k'ennaku zino ka bulumi nnyo. It's really a pain in the neck hustling for school fees. Anyone who is paying school fees knows damn right what I'm talking about. Today the topic is about the bleak future of the Uganda's education system. Yesterday, all of you saw the Minister of Education, Honorable Janet Kataha, who is the First Lady of Uganda. But of course, you know my First Lady is in Magereso. Temwekulya yaka. Nsonga mugitegeere bulungi. Omukyala yavuddeyo jjo n'atunyonnyola minisita akubiriza ebyenjigiriza. Alina ebigambo by'ayogedde ne binkwatako ng'omuzadde nga Munnayuganda, and I asked myself, where is our education system going? First, let me give you these statistics before we start. Okay, lockdown started March last year in 2020. And the classes I'm going to read for you below have not seen a blackboard since. Baby class, middle class, top class, P1, P2, P3, P4, so on. Abo bensomye tebaddangayo ku ssomero okuva lw'omuggalo ogwasooka lwe gwatandika. Kubanga baali baakaddeyo ng'obusente abazadde baakabusasula. Omukulu n'addamu n'aggalawo jjajja nga bwe mumumanyi. Naye njagala twogere nnyo ku baana aba UPE oba bano babayita batya, bonna basome. Tulaba wano nti emitwalo 7. Really, I want to get this figure straight, so abaana 7. Let me just say this in English. 7,497 students registered for these examinations in 14,300 examination centers. Naye abaana bano abeewandiisa bonna tebaatudde. Olw'ensonga emu oba endala zemumanyi. Naye kisinza okundeeta olwaliro kwe kwogerako ebyo minisita w'ebyenjigiriza byayogeddeko jjo. Alina ekintu kyayogedde n'agamba nti bannayuganda tulekeraawo okunenyanga minisitule y'ebyenjigiriza bwe wabanga nga tewali. Buli ebyenjigiriza bwe bisereba tulekeraawo okunenya ekitongole eky'ebyenjigiriza. Me and you, let's ask ourselves, if the Minister of Education came out boldly yesterday and said, we should stop blaming the Ministry of Education for poor performance in Uganda's education system. This question goes back to me and you. If we do not blame the government, who do we blame? We blame ourselves as the parents? Who do we blame for this. Because the education ministry is a sector itself. It takes taxpayers' money to make it stand. And as taxpayers, we expect to see results coming out of the taxes we pay so that we can sustain the education ministry. Furthermore, the minister said, we should share the blame as Ugandans. Tulina okugabana tuleme kugamba mbu kusala gwa kawala gwokka mbu naffe gutusinga. Kati njagala weebuuze gwali eyandawo. Gukusinga gutya bw'oba ng'oli muzadde? If you're a parent, you've paid school fees for your child, you've packed for them everything they need for school, you've taken them to school, and then they perform poorly. And then the minister says, you cannot blame them. And I say, I'm not buying that idea. Why? The minister is supposed to be in the ministry and check out the syllabus, the academics. Do we have the quality education a Ugandan child deserves? Are we following the international standards? Is the education system provided in Uganda sufficient enough for a Ugandan child to go out there in the competitive world and get a job? I'm not sure whether that's a responsibility of the parent or the ministry. I'm trying to analyze this if we cannot blame the ministry. So I want you by the end of this to help me find out who we can blame for this. Kubanga basebo ne bannyabo bwe wabanga tewali muntu yenna asobola kutwala buvunaanyizibwa ku byenjigiriza nga biserebanga buli omu agamba togunsalira, kitegeeza nti ebiseera bya Uganda eby'omu maaso ebyenjigiriza bigenda kuba si bitangaavu n'akatono. Olwaleero nkumenyedde ebibiina by'abaana batannalinnyako wadde mu kibiina ate nga bakula. Sinakindi n'obusobozi obutwala abaana abo okusomera obugenda kuggweerawo ddala. Essaawa eno abaana tebasoma olw'omuggalo, naye ng'ate ensi ezisinga abaana basoma. Twebuuze lwaki abaana ewaffe tebasoma nga waliwo omuggalo, ng'ate ensi endala abaana basoma. Njagala okugendako katono ewa mwami Tibuhabulwa. Omuggalo bwe gwali gutandika yasuubiza n'agamba agenda kutuwa radio ne TV ennene ku byalo, abaana batuule awo basome. Ebyo mubijjukira bulungi. These are not my words. It was the president himself who promised at the beginning of the first lockdown in 2020 that he was going to provide a television set, a gigantic television set in every village so that these children can still continue with the education. If there is a district, a village that you're coming from that I don't know that received a set of television and students there are studying, or pupils, please let me know about that district. We are now in the second year of the lockdown. But these are all empty promises. And you're telling me we cannot blame the ministry? I think something is not right. The minister furthermore said that parents should adapt to schooling these children at home. Okay, that sounds very easy. Nti omuzadde osobola okusomesa omwana awaka. Naye njagala nkubuulire nti ekyo tekiyamba mwana wa Uganda ow'enkya agenda okugenda wabweru eyo mu nsi ezikuze okusoma oba okunoonya omulimu. Lwaki? bw'obanga gwe omuzadde tewasoma okeera ku makya ne wokolera ebicuba byo. I'm talking about this parent in a remote area that never went to school. How can this parent school or homeschool their pupil at home? Please tell me. This lady never saw the blackboard, but she decided with her husband, we need to take our children to school. All they know is to hustle for the money, provided the children goes to school and the teacher does the work. So how on earth will this parent now school the child? Aren't you setting up the child for failure? Omuzadde teyasoma agenda kusomesa atya omwana? Agenda kumusomesa ki kyatamanyi? Waliyo n'abamu nga baasoma naye ng'ebbanga lyamaze nga tatunula mu bitabo muganda wange omukuba n'emigo. Many of you, if a child brings to you homework, you'll start saying, I'm busy, I'm tired, because you know it's been a while since you looked at the blackboard or since you did revision. So these measures, they are not attainable. Let's face it. They are not attainable. As we think about the Ugandan child who is sitting at home in those lower classes, parents, you are on your own. Sorry to tell you. But looks like, for now, the ministry is hands off. It is you and your child alone. Tebaagala kumanya bibyo gw'omanyi. Oli akugambye nti ye tamanyi na ddi, tayinza nakubuulira ddi lwe bagenda kugulawo masomero. Kakati nga many parents are at home, actually they are just waiting for the ministry to come up with a scheduled lockdown is for education. And then as you are home anticipating and waiting, the minister comes up and says, hey, I cannot tell you today or tomorrow or next year. I don't know. Where does that leave you as a parent? Where does that leave your child? And where does that leave the Uganda's education future? Unknown to all of us, I guess. My question, what didn't we do in the first wave or in the first lockdown that would have helped us plan more for the second lockdown or for 2021 lockdown? Because looks like no one knows what to do at this point. If the minister comes up and says children will be schooled by teachers in the villages, but then these teachers are not paid by government. These are individual teachers. They are going to be teaching these children, but my question comes in. Will they get pass marks to be promoted to another class? Your answer is as good as mine. Omwana wange bwagenda n'asoma ew'omusomesa oyo minisita w'ebyenjigiriza bwe yagambye ow'oku kyalo, maama gundi gwe yeekuŋŋaanyamu ne maama gundi ne maama gundi ne mufuna ali abaana ne mubatuuza. Omwana n'asoma. By'asomyeyo bigenda muyamba okugenda mu kibiina ekirala makisi ezo banaazikiriza. Ani agenda okusasula omusomesa oyo? Who is paying that teacher? The answer is the parent. Is the parent working? No. And then the minister said the urban education is much better than the village education. Why? Because the urban child arrives early at school, can access education on internet, and has ample time to study, unlike the village scholar. Now let's look at the village scholar. What did the minister say about the village scholar? The minister herself said the village scholar arrives late at school because that child walks a very long distance from home, and thus arriving late in class and arriving home late after school, very tired. Which leads me to the big question. Emyaka 3 mwemeka muli awo mutukalakata. Mutufuze. Mutukoze buli kye mwagala. Lwaki oluvannyuma lw'emyaka 3 n'emusobi tewali masomero gamala mu kyalo nti omwana alina okutambula olugendo luwanvu nnyo okutuuka ku ssomero? Lwaki ebyentambula n'enguudo mu kyalo si bitereevu nti omwana wa Uganda akyetaaga okutuuka leeti mu kibiina? Abasinga baliyo tebalina nangatto, balina envunza, basomera mu miti. Mwoza kye mmaze yakoze n'owulya ng'oyagala basunako matu mufune ku nsonyi. Tewali byakoze kubanga ku luno mugenda kukiraba eno lockdown bagiyita namwatulira. All the masks are going to fall off, trust me. Buli kazina konna kagenda kweyanika. Mulabe buli bintu byonna babadde nga babagamba. Kyagulanyi ayogera ebintu bino ne mulowooza alimba. Naye njagala mbabuulire. Omusajja takoze mukkirize byange. Mu byenjigiriza tukyali bubi. Kale katugeze. Omwana agenda kusomera ku internet. Assuming we can afford that. Of which you know we can't. Network ebere bulabula. OTT bamugyawo naye ne batwistinga ne bakomyawo omusolo gwa 12%. Some parents cannot afford that internet. Better yet, some parents don't have smartphones and computers. So, how can we study online? Only the privileged few will be able to study, and the majority are going to be thrown in the basket. And a few years to come, you'll ask people for education qualifications while hiring them, many of which won't have them. What will that lead to? More poverty, more unemployment, more high crime rates, more gender-based violence. I feel sorry for my country. I feel sorry for the education system. I appeal to the Ministry of Education to go back on the drawing board, come up with a clear plan on how children can go back to school. There must be a way. We cannot just sit and wait because no one knows when this will end. If we don't know when this will end, then we might as well learn to work around it. Mwerowooze, mwekube mitima, mulumirirwe abantu, mulowooze ku byenjigiriza by'omwana wa Uganda. Ebyokuddawo mwena ne mugamba temumanyi, ani amanyi bwe muba temumanyi? Basebo ne bannyabo. Simanyi wa gye tulaga naye si walungi. Mu byenjigiriza si walungi. Si walungi. And this is not just happening to the pupils, this is also in the universities. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think the government can do to get our children back to school amidst the pandemic? There must be something. Someone has to think out of the box. Thank you so much for watching. May God continue blessing you. Anyone who has not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to Nambiru Barbara at YouTube. It's there. And Nambiru Uganda, Nambiru Barbara Uganda on Facebook. Twitter handle is Barbara Namubiru. Love you so much, guys. May God continue to bless you. Bye-bye.